I hope you brought a change of clothes because these disturbing images captured on doorbell cameras are so scary they'll make you pee yourself. On October 2nd, 2022 at 5 in the morning, this video was recorded. 3 men are seen in the video standing in front of the front door of the home, one of whom notices the doorbell camera and immediately covers it so that for the majority of the clip, all you can see is his glove. However, for a brief moment, he removes the glove to reveal all 3 men in full view. The homeowner finally awakens to the motion-detected notifications on his phone. As they're seen leaning up against the wall and crouching low to the ground, plainly attempting to remain out of sight of anyone inside. This can't end well when the homeowner goes on the speaker to try to identify who is on his front porch.
Hello? 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 Hello?
The men do not respond, so the homeowner calls the police. By the time the police arrived, the men were gone, but many believe they were trying to lure the homeowner into opening the door so they could rob him. However, why then not try to convince him to come to the door when he came on the doorbell speaker? What they were planning to do once they got inside is anyone's guess. This woman had just returned from walking her dog when her doorbell camera captures her beginning to remove the dog's leash and looking to the right, which prompts her to quickly pick up the dog and enter her house. Immediately, we learn why. A man enters the frame and approaches the front door, trying the handle, but she was able to lock it in time. The man then starts putting on gloves, and she mentioned that he was carrying zip ties. He then looks into the house. What do you think he was planning to do? The man approaches the house's back door and tries to force it open, prompting the homeowner to lock herself in a room and call the police. In the time it took the police to arrive, the man tried breaking in almost every window to the house and broke off the screen of one of the back windows, but was ultimately unsuccessful. The homeowner posted the footage to TikTok in the hopes that someone could identify the individual because the police were helpless at that point. However, from what I could uncover, no one was able to do so. A young boy named Graydon, age 10, from Riverton, Utah, was walking home alone from basketball practice at around 6 o'clock one evening in December when he observed a 4-door vehicle being driven by 2 guys slowly following him. The men in the car rolled down their windows and tried to entice Graydon with candy to get inside as they drove right next to him. This happened only a few blocks from Graydon's home. Graydon said he ignored the men and continued to walk even faster away from them. A short while later, he arrived at his front porch. His family's home had a doorbell camera, and as he approached, you're actually able to see the car in the background. Graydon keeps his eyes on the car. When Graydon tries the front door handle and discovers it's locked, the car's reverse lights turn on, and it begins to move towards him. Graydon screams and quickly gathers rocks to defend himself. He then runs to his neighbor's house next door, where the door was unlocked, and locks the door behind him. The car can be seen turning around and waiting for Graydon to come back out. Both Graydon's family and the police are almost certain the men were attempting to kidnap him that night. When the police were called and a report was made, Graydon described the males as being in their 30s or 40s with no facial hair. In this video, a mother and her children can be seen hurriedly packing their belongings in response to an evacuation order. The incident occurred in Canyon County, California, at a time when a wildfire was raging throughout the region. In the background of the video, you can see smoke and fire looming over the house and hills. They hurry to leave their community, but they are unsure of their remaining time. Eventually, a man runs across the street to warn the family that the fire was approaching.
Everyone evacuate, the smoke's coming up!
It's okay, girl. Russ, it is okay.
The family then leaves the neighborhood and seeks refuge at a hotel nearby. A few days later, the fire that had been raging around the home died down, allowing the family to return and survey the damage. Surprisingly, however, their home was unharmed, in contrast to several other nearby homes that were completely destroyed by the fire. This video was posted to TikTok to alert viewers to pay attention to their surroundings. In the video, the uploader was a mother named JoJo, and her son Daniel are returning home late at night. They open the front door and go inside, but as soon as they close the door behind them, a man can be seen walking up to the house and trying to open the door.
Go shower really fast. I need you to go shower. Please, Daniel. Who's that?
JoJo and Daniel argue about Daniel needing to take a shower while he says he's too tired, but this doesn't drown out the clear sound of someone grabbing the front door handle. Only seconds after she locked it, JoJo looks outside only to see this creepy guy. She yells at him to leave. The man takes a step back but remains in front of the camera. He doesn't say anything, instead just stands there with a blank expression.
Who is that? Get out of here! Get out of here! There's a guy outside. Look.
It's unclear where the man came from because the door's obstructing the view. Some believe he followed the two all the way home. JoJo contacted the police, but he had already left by the time they arrived. So it's unlikely we'll ever be able to know for sure what he had meant to do if that door had been left unlocked. However, some people think he was camped out next to the house, intentionally waiting for them to return. A woman uploaded a series of Ring camera videos to the internet in June 2021. She explained how her mother had recently installed 2 Ring cameras around their home. On one of the first few nights after the cameras were installed, her phone would be inundated with motion-detected notifications. She reviewed them, and this is what she saw. A man was walking around the outside of the house. She noticed how easily he was doing it, as if he had done it before. She reported it to the police after noticing that he was prowling around looking in various windows, including hers. When the police arrived, the man had already left, so there wasn't much they could do other than advise her to keep her blinds, curtains, and windows closed at all times. She was understandably concerned that he might return, so she set up all kinds of traps outside her window. She strung a piece of rope between 2 trees in the hopes that the man wouldn't notice, so if he tripped over it, a lot of noise would be generated alarming her of his presence. Uncomfortably, exactly a week later at 2 a.m., she heard someone trip over the rope. She immediately pulled out her phone and opened the live camera feed, where she saw the previous man standing outside her window looking in. After seeing this footage, she went up to her mother's room and told her about the man. The two of them then went back to the window, opened the curtains, and began banging on the glass to scare the man away. Then they called the police, but they were unsuccessful the second time around. The woman and her mother relocated to a different home and never heard from the police again, leading them to believe that he was never apprehended. This doorbell video captures the sudden explosion of a home in Arlington, Texas, which occurred at 2 a.m. on January 1st, 2022. The explosion was reported to have been caused by a gas appliance that wasn't fully turned off. Fortunately, no one was home at the time. In fact, there were no injuries sustained. However, the damage was significant. In addition to the house suffering significant structural damage, flying debris also caused significant damage. Apartment dwellers across the street reported broken windows due to the explosion, and parked cars were also damaged. The authorities got numerous reports as soon as the explosion occurred. Before we get to number 1, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying this video and want to see more like this one. This video was uploaded to TikTok in September of 2022. The uploader claimed that around 3 in the morning his doorbell camera caught a man crossing the street and eventually running up to the camera, at which point it was visible that the man was sporting some sort of mask with a drawn-on mustache. The homeowner eventually woke up from all the notifications on his phone. He immediately put on some clothes and went outside to confront the man after spotting him peering inside through his windows, and attempted to open his door. When he couldn't find the man, he decided to call the police and file a report. The uploader never provided an update, but given that the man was wearing a mask, it's likely that he won't ever be identified. There's only one thing more disturbing than these clips, and it's what your life would be like without watching more of our videos.